bit of it was a little bit of a slow transition. So I said to myself again, I'm afraid of this technology. I'm afraid of the way I look and sound. Oh, that was like the number one reason, right? Is that you're afraid of the way you look and the way you sound. And all my life, I've heard myself on a video, or I'm sorry, not on an audio tape. I used to be that little kid, you know, with my parents, and I used to record their conversations, and I would be like, oh, this is mom and dad, and this is how they, and then I would play back, and I was like, I hate the way I sound. So now here comes video technology, and I hate it even more. So, you know, I took that gentleman in the back's class to try to overcome my fear of video, and it still didn't resonate with me. It still didn't, you know, quite click. Until one day I took another one of his classes, and it was get over it. It's the way you look and sound. And it was just like that. Those words, that statement, was like, all right, I have to do this. I don't have a choice here. Yeah, I do have a choice. Either I stay poor, or I make some money, you know, and become, you know, above average. And I have to tell you that the dollars translated for me last year, the year before last was 30,000 more using video. Last year was 40,000 more. So I'm starting to see an ascent of my income just simply on one source of medium, which is Facebook Live. Now I'm trying to transition a little bit into Instagram. So that's the video aspect of the business, right? And then part two, taking that video to another level, which is community. You know, I'm well known in my community. I walk the boardwalk, I see some people, I say hi, 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 right? And then I go into the stores, hi, hi, hi. And I'm the real estate guy. Out of 468 agents, I'm the guy that because I branded myself through all that word, all those years. But I never branded myself as a community expert. So here comes Hurricane Sandy, right? We all know about Hurricane Sandy, and it just ravaged my neighborhood. Just totally destroyed my neighborhood. And I started to put out Facebook posts as businesses were coming back on, and this was before the understanding and grasping the concept of Facebook Live, and started to say, this business is open, go to it. This business is open. And people would thank me, and people would start sharing my posts. So now I saw a value to that, because now I was getting branded as the expert in the community of, oh, he knows, go to him, he knows which store is open. So then I did the video. I started doing a lot of video. And the first video was about flood insurance, because naturally we were in an area that got, you know, destroyed, so people needed to know a little bit about flood insurance and the rising costs and what, you know, Biggert Waters was doing to recreate itself, and then there were so many changes, and I was starting to do flood insurance posts. Well, at first it was interesting, then it got boring. So the advice that I got about doing weekly posts on flood insurance, I wasn't interested in it. So therefore, when I did it, it didn't come across as interesting. So you saw a video, you'd be like, yeah, that's interesting, Joe. What else? So I'm a Facebook junkie. How many people are Facebook junkies? Raise your hand. Like let's admit it. We're family. We're family. All right, I'll put 2 hands up. I'm a Facebook junkie. So I go on Facebook, and I like posts, and I read posts, and my wife wants to kill me half the time. She's always on that phone. But I find that I'm connected to my community and what is going on in people's lives more so than any other medium that I've ever done. Talking with people, no, that's passé already. I'm on Facebook and I'm spying on my clientele. Okay? So I have over 3,000 clients in the 28 years that I've been doing the business. And in that course of time, I've gotten to know who they are, their kids, right? But now comes Facebook. I know what they're eating, I know what they're liking, I know what is going to happen, where they are. Like, I've actually seen somebody go shopping, and like, I'm going shopping at Key Food, so I'm like, I gotta talk to that person. So I'll actually go to Key Food and pretend I'm shopping. Just to see that person. Oh, hi! Like, I know, I'm a stalker, right? So, but that's the new spy tool, if you will, for us realtors to get out into our communities and understand what is going on, not just with the people, but the businesses of the community. Because it's important that you have relationships with those businesses and you do something with that. So I started to do video on businesses. And I found that with video of the businesses, it's not just all about them in my interview, but it's also branding me. And that's what we're here to learn, is how do you brand yourself as a community expert? Where do you find the most attraction? Where do you find the most reaction, if you will, of you in that business, in that community? So I don't know many communities up here, so you have to help me with that. All I know is Greece, New York, with the Jeremiahs, right? But if you help me with that, I can tell you that if you like ice cream, you should be going to that ice cream store at least once every 2 weeks. You should be making a video with the owner of that ice cream parlor. Jeremiah's just did it for a cupcake, the debut of a bakery. And I said, oh, I'll go with you, and I had a cupcake and I gained about 10,000 pounds. But he did a video with the owner of the bakery. So I did videos back home with the owners of a place called the Flower Shop. And that was my first video. Now, listen to this story, because I'm about the storytelling in my classrooms. I do a lot of storytelling, but I teach a lesson in my stories. I go into the flower shop. I'm waiting there for my car across the street, and I go into the flower shop, this little bakery, little cafe, if you will, on a Saturday afternoon. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching all the traffic, and I like this place. I've been to this place a couple of times. I'm like, this is going to be my first video right here for businesses. So I said, is the owner here? And the lady goes, no, we have, she's in the back, but the marketing expert, the marketing girl who does all our social media, is here. I said, well, can I talk to her? What's her name? Helen. I said, Helen, come over here. I said, I want to do an interview with you about the flower shop. She says, oh no, I don't like the way, again, I don't like the way I look and sound on video. This is the marketing girl for the flower shop who's afraid to do video. Now, wouldn't you think that this person would be all over social media? And all of her social media pages on the flower shop, all these little, they don't even get one share at this point. Because while I'm waiting for my breakfast, I'm looking at all of her site on the flower shop. And I said, all right, there's no video here. Not one video. She didn't have a video of any of the product. So I did the video. And this was, again, my first video with the store, and then I panned to her, and I started asking her questions. So how long have you been here? Blah, blah, blah. And I asked her a couple of questions, she answered, and she's a natural. The one who was afraid of video is answering me back all the questions, and I only gave her 3 questions, by the way. And she went on and on for less than about 2 minutes, which is probably what I recommend. Nothing more than that, because then you'll have all the, you won't get viewership at that point. And then I did a lot of the second thing. I tagged all the community, anything that said Rockville Center in it. I tagged it in my post, I tagged her and the flower shop, and she's gotten about 1,700 views in 2 weeks. Right after I did, in 2 weeks. And she says, I go back in just to check on her and everything. She goes, it's great. She goes, everyone coming in, they said they saw the video. It's been great. Right? So now, fast forward to 2 weeks ago, Saturday, I go into my community, and there's a place called Blacksmiths. And it's the same concept as the flower shop. In fact, it's the same baker. He left flower shop and he opened up his own place. And he says to me, you know that video? He recognized me. He goes, I know you, but I forgot your name. He says, but I know you did a video for Flower Shop. And I said to him, yeah. He goes, I used to be the baker there. He says, can you do a video here? So instead of me doing it, I was with my friend Sam, and Sam is a ham, and he actually interviews the blacksmiths guy, and I'm holding the camera, and I'm telling Sam what to ask him, and we're panning on all the food and product, and then after I do that, and I do the same thing, I tag, blah, blah, this guy has had business from the PTA in my town, because my wife is the vice president of the PTA. So she said, tag the PTA, and all of the Lindell parents now are going into this place, right? Now, you think I would get a free muffin or something. No, I didn't get anything. But then the lady Helen, the first one I interviewed, shows up there as the manager. And now she says, can you do another video for me, with me here? And I said, no, your ship has sailed. I already did that one with the flower shop. Because I don't want to be like typecasted, and I used that word before, because I want to be branded as the real estate agent in the community, branding others. See, that's where I'm going with this. So there's different forms, different levels of branding you can do. Do you want to be known as the person who welcomes the new business in town? Do you want to be known as the person who brings about some sort of attention to a business, like a grand opening? Or maybe it's a popular diner, or it's a popular coffee house, or it could be a dry cleaner. I did a video with my dry cleaner. My dry cleaner fought me tooth and nail. He said to me, I don't want to do it. I hate this Facebook garbage. And he used another adjective, but I won't say it here. He says, I don't want to do it. I says, come on, Alan, you got to do it. I says, come on, I want to do it for you. Let's do it, right? After we did it, you had to see some of the comments. Alan is still there. He's still alive because it's a 40-year-old business that his father started. So people rediscovered who Alan was through that video. And Alan got 2 new customers. I think he got more, but he doesn't want to tell me because he's afraid I might hit him up for free dry cleaning. So here is a medium that realtors are not using. And I brought you from the ground level of what I've done to what I do today and where I'm going to go in the future. And I want you to start here, if you're down at this level, at the beginner level, and not be afraid of it, because you need to find your voice. See, that's what I found. I found that even though I try not to look at the videos after I've done them, because then I'm more conscious of how I look and sound. So I stopped watching the video. Occasionally, not occasionally, every time I go online, I want to see how many viewerships I've had. How many organic views I've had. Does everybody know the difference between organic and non-organic? What is the difference?
Can you just, so one you have to pay and the other you don't.
Right.
Can you just throw one of your examples up?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a video up of what do people want to see versus what they peruse. Okay, so this is a video that I did. This is called the Parade of Lights. So I'll give you just a little story, quick story of what the Parade of Lights was. It's a parade of, like a Christmas parade that comes through my town every year. And this started after Sandy. And this one time that I couldn't do it, my father-in-law was in the hospital last year, about 14 and a half months ago, 15 and a half months ago, and I was home with the kids. So I did this from my porch, and I had no idea what was going to happen while I was doing this. And this garnered 2,400 organic views with 24 shares. That means 24 people shared it that I don't know. I don't know who they are. They shared it to their Facebook. Live from East Atlantic Beaches, the West Atlantic, East Atlantic, and this is the parade going into the West End. So that's the view from my porch that goes up going down, and people decorate their cars with lights. And there parade of lights. Santa Claus right there. And all I did was this. This is become an annual tradition in the West End of Long Beach. Lucky for us, it has passed our house. Oh, look at this guy here. Now there were people watching this from their house that could not get out of their home. And they started to make comments along the side here. You know, thank you for posting this. Oh, I couldn't get to it. There were people from out of town. There were people out of town that got to watch this. Maybe it was because it was the time of year. I don't know. But this is one of the highest rated views I have for video. And I did this all from my porch. Okay? It's something simple, and I don't know what I'm saying, by the way. This is not scripted. That's the best part. You don't script anything. But here's the most interesting part of these videos, is that what do they enjoy versus what they peruse? You know, like this could get 2,400 views. But if I'm at an open house and I'm showing a house of mine, they'll maybe get 30 views, 40 views. Because it's not interesting. Even though people know you're in the business of trying to sell them something, right? They know what you do, but they don't know the personal side of you. They don't see a personal side of us. They want to see something that has nothing to do with real estate. And I don't even mention anything. Every time I go on video, I go, this is Joe Sonona coming to you live. That's all I say. You know, because my little friend back there taught me how to say it, like a reporter on Channel 7. But if I go back, I'm going to go back here. The Parade of Lights, Part 2. Let me just pause that for a second. Yeah, I said that to the guy, and he just kept waving, and he kept saying, hey, what's going on? So here's the Parade of Lights, Part 2. And this one, same thing. I just took a break, and then I showed the Parade of Lights Part 2. And this one was shared by a broadcasting company called Metro Focus Television. One of my friends is the director of Metro Focus TV. Is that up here? I don't know. It's a channel. It's a PBS station. And as soon as he shared it on his, I got 800 views right away, because he's got a television station. And then this got shared even more throughout the town, and people just, they loved it. They loved it. Yes?
How do you know that your business has increased that much?
Because when you go up the aisle in a supermarket and somebody at random says, oh, I saw your video, and then you start engaging conversation, oh, I have a house to sell. This made one of the ladies in the supermarket, she's like, I saw that, I thought it was great, and then we started to engage. It had nothing to do with the video as to why she listened, but she saw me, and then she said, I know the name, blah, 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 and then I said, hey, you live in the, I didn't know who she was. She sold her house at 22 West Olive. She listed it with me, and I sold it. Listed and sold it. Double D. It was great. Yes.
So you say are you doing Facebook Live, or are you doing it later?
I'm doing Facebook Live. Oh yeah, it's all live. I take big chances.
Everything's live.
Yeah, and if I blunder, and I know
I know.
I see the little nervous look that you got over there. But you understand, if you don't do it, someone else is doing it, and someone else is capitalizing off of your idea. It could be your idea, whatever it is, but the point is, you have to do it. You have to dive in. Because if you don't dive in, you're missing out on an opportunity to brand yourself. Now, I know we have a shortage of inventory downstate. Do you have a shortage? All right, so here's an opportunity, a medium to either get on Facebook or Instagram and do some sort of a video. You've got to get out there. People, if you're not there, you're extinct to them. You really are. The more I'm doing video, the more they start to say to myself, I see myself redefining my career now. Because they're like, oh, I thought you were out of the business. Well, what made you think that? Well, you've been around a long time, so? I mean, this is the mentality that people have. You had a question here? Yes.
So I don't know that much about Facebook Live. So are you saying that it's happening live, but then people can have it on demand later?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not like Snapchat where it goes away.
Right. Video in Facebook is there. It's in your library.
Okay.
And people, you'd be surprised, they'll be watching it long after it's done. Like this was watched 3 weeks after it was done, well into December. This is at the beginning of December. At the end of December, I had more viewership.
So for those that are kind of perfectionists and have a problem with live, what's the downside of pre-recording it, editing it, and posting it up as a video versus doing live?
It's too scripted. It's too rehearsed.
Okay.
Anything that's natural is, I find I get a better reaction than anything like, if I had some stats in front of me on the market, or I had some stats in front of me on flood insurance. When I read off those stats, I found that the viewership was like, yes, so? But now if I brought a big giant wave into it, and the wave goes crashing down on me and kills me, you'll see about 10,000 views, because I noticed that even with YouTube, people look at these views, they find things that are fascinating. Like who's a cat lover? Who has cats? Who's a cat, right? You love your cat, right?
I love that.
Well, over a million viewers love this cat commercial on YouTube because they find it so cute, so they identified with it. I put up, not to bring down the house a little bit, but you see people's moods and what people react to. I need hugs and prayers for a relative who's sick. Get 1,000 likes or 1,000 little smiley emojis and prayers and hugs, and I get 1,000 prayers. But if I say I have a house to sell, I get maybe 1 or 2 good lucks. Because again, it's what people are looking at versus what they're just perusing. And to get, look at this, it's 7 minutes long, this second one. So, you will have that viewership die off, but maybe they'll come back to it at a later time to look at it. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is I got 800 views. Here first, then that. Yes.
Joe, do you also cross-post these to YouTube?
I have not done that, but I'm going to start doing that because I find that maybe I can get more branding that way. To be honest with you, Facebook Live to me is now, I'm phasing out, and I'm going to start doing Instagram a little bit more, and then YouTube. And I'm going to every social media platform to find out which one works best for me and my branding. So it could be YouTube. Don't stop yourself.
It's a more personal.
Yeah, don't stop yourself. I have over 3,000 friends on Facebook. So I want those 3,000, I want to take it for a spin. I want to see what these 3,000 friends can do for me. Yes?
So when you're posting, are you posting on a professional page, your personal page, or both?
This is my personal page.
Okay.
Yeah. And on my professional page, I'll post like my classes, I'll post some market, happenings, what's going on. I have 3 pages on Facebook, of myself, the personal, then I have my team, I have a leader of a team, and then I have I have another side business called Sonona Speak Seminars. So I do 3 different types of videos for each one. On my personal page, what do you put on your personal? If you have like stuff like this, people are going to look at. They need to see and identify that you are a human being, and that you don't just sell real estate. You had a question back there?
My question was, when you're doing these, and I can see where people would watch them, in any place on there, do you identify that you're doing real estate? Or
No.
that's your profession? Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all, because I found that when I was doing real estate views of videos, I wouldn't get as many views.
Right, that's what I wondered.
And I'm a viewer junkie. I love to see, I'll show you a video, if you will. Let's see if I can get it up here. I didn't put it on for today, but if I can get it here, I'll show you one that I did for my anniversary.
My next question was, do you ever include your family in this? So I guess this answers.
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, I did. And my little daughter Victoria, she's 7.5. She's a ham like me, and first she goes no, and then she goes, okay, here I am, And the little one is getting into it now. But my wife and I did a video, and we put it on the Joe Sonona team page, and we were doing something for Thanksgiving, and then that brought in a lot of views. Then when we went to my in-laws' house for Greek Easter last year, this was a funny story, we forgot the cheesecake. So we were debating whether to go back 40 minutes to get the cheesecake. So I said, you know what, we're going to have a video on this. And we did a video on Greek Easter about the cheesecake. And that garnered about 800 views right there. So again, it's what people are looking. And when are they looking? That's the second part of this.
Are
Yes.
you making all of these public or just sending them to your country?
Public.
All of them. Okay.
I want the world to see me. See? Because I have no fear. There's no fear. That's the key here. Don't worry about the way you look and sound, and no fear. Because if you have fear, you'll never do it. You'll have all these interpretations about who you are, what you look like, what you sound like, and you won't make money. This was a video 3 minutes long about my anniversary.
I am celebrating my 28th year anniversary today in business, and I thought it would be great to just walk the streets of the West End neighborhood and show you my West End and what I do for a living on my 28th year business. Because
This is your question
I
on
said,
real
what
estate.
a great way to celebrate and to show people just exactly what I do here in Long Beach, New York. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a walk here in my favorite spot. And all day long I've been reflecting on my years here. I'm on a block on Vermont Street here. And this is a regular West End bungalow right here. And this was the first house right here that I ever sold in my career.
You got that, right? I'm pointing you to the White House. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
As a realtor. 43 Vermont, and just wanted to give you that as a way of giving you a little
Yeah,
showcase.
you can't see it, but that's
of,
40
the
Vermont.
West End. And just enjoying it here at the end of the day, and reflecting on what it has meant to me to be in business for 28 years. It feels like the very first day. And I just want to give the inspiration to all new people in business that want to get into our business, and just tell them that they also have the same opportunities that I have and that I had 28 years ago when I first started, and not to give up, because this truly is a great business to be had. And even after 28 years, I mean, look, the neighborhood is, I want to pause right here. That's 43 Vermont, the first house I ever sold. Not the one I was pointing to, only nobody knew it in the video, right? So after I was done with the video, I looked around for 43. I'm turning around, and I go, oh, this is 43. They knocked it down. They're building up a brand. This is already constructed into a new house. But that was the first house I ever saw, but nobody knew it in the video. Now watch this. 2,155 views. So does it work? I think so, because I spoke from the heart. If you notice, I didn't make any eye contact. I was no script. I just said, I want to thank everybody. That's all I did. And it was just a Friday afternoon inspirational talk. That's all I wanted to do. Yes?
How often do you go live without being obnoxious?
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Because you do see a lot of people that do it quite often. I try not to. I try to do it maybe once every 2 weeks. I don't want to be obnoxious. I want to be the guy that gives them information as well. If I come across that way, I'll take a little break. You know, because you have to stop yourself. You know, you can't be too obnoxious. You have to be careful of what videos you decide to put on. So lately, I have a 100 friend thank you, 100 people thank you, I call it. I put hashtag 100 people thank you. So these are 100 people in my life that I say thank you to for being in my life, in my circle. So I'm up to number 13. I don't know, I haven't decided if it's number 13, but when I've been doing it, I've been getting an average of 600 to 700 views per gratitude video. When do I do it? I do it between the hours of 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30 to 9 o'clock. I won't go past 9 o'clock. And then I'll try to do one around 3-ish. I notice I got some good views around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, between 3 and 4. 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night is the best. It's like no one has a life. And my wife says, oh my God, they get a life, do you people? Because she sees like 300-400 likes. And she goes, what, are they all on Facebook? Yes, they're all on Facebook. And you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. Because even when they don't make a comment, they'll see you in the street. Going back to, now bring it back to real estate. They'll see you in the street and they'll say, hey, I'm sorry about your loss. I recently had a loss for my father-in-law, but I didn't think they even saw the post. But I didn't make a video about it. I made a post about it. So there's that post that you'll write, and then there's the video you'll make. Because you can take 2 forms of either one and probably still have, a little bit of a balance scale depending on what the post looks like versus what the video is. Tony, you had a question?
With that, do you interview the people or just talk about them? Do you mention them by name?
So I have interviewed some people on my other page called the South Shore Living, and I find that it's something. It's a little bit of a baby right now in the making. I'm up to the 4th video, and all I'm doing is interviewing the business. That's all I'm doing. I'm not talking about myself. I don't want to talk about myself on that page. I figured it's called South Shore Living. So let's say you do one for Rochester Living. What is it about Rochester that stands out that you could tell me right now? Tell me something about Rochester that I would definitely want to see when I'm here in town.
Our weather.
That doesn't turn me on. It doesn't turn me on, really.
The lilac.
I freaked out when I saw a couple of flakes just now.
Okay.
The lilac?
Lilac.
The lilac. So, what is your first name?
Chris.
Chris. So now, Chris, I want you to interview someone or talk about this Lilac Festival. I want you to practice right now, if you will. Can you come up here?
Can you come up here? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Chris, no, come on up.
on,
Come
Chris,
on,
do
Okay. So I want you to pretend. I'm not gonna video you or at all, but I want you to pretend for a second that you are doing a video, and I want you to take your left hand, or whatever hand you feel most comfortable with, and pretend like you have your phone in your hand, and just talk to your hand, right? And pretend, that's your hand, right? Oh, I'll do it for you, right? And you say, this is Chris, what's your last name?
Chris Whitus.
Chris Whitus, white hair, Whitus.
Yes.
And,
That's why I
and-
did it.
Is that what you did? Okay. And this is so and so, and talk about the Lilac Festival, and do it within. Who's got a stopwatch or a watch, the timer? Less than 1 minute. We're gonna do. Ready?
We'll count.
Who's got a watch? Ready?
We'll count.
Okay. Somebody be my timer.
Okay.
Okay.
One Mississippi.
So go.
Okay. Hi, this is Chris Whitus. I'm at Highland Park, and I'm going to show you some of the lilacs that are here. There's actually over 500 different varieties in this park, and
Like that.
I'm showing
No,
them the
no.
lilacs.
Oh, okay.
There's lilacs to be looked at.
Okay.
And we're going along, and here's the pansy bed that they plant new every year, so there's always a great design in it. And oh, by the way, I used to live right down that street, 8 houses away. It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So there's also concerts every night going on, and there's great food. Just come have a great time.
1 to 10. How do you rate Chris?
10.
She's a natural, right?
Thank you, I love you
All right.
guys.
So, have you done any video?
No.
You should have just done it.
Are you going to? Is the Lilac Festival over?
No, it's in May.
It's in May, right?
Yeah, we don't have any lilacs
All right.
moving yet.
So I want you all, not because I need more friends. I want you all to tag me, or Chris, you friend me, and I want you to tag me in that video. I want to see that video. Who wants to see that video? Okay. So that's what I want you to do, because you spoke passionately about that. So now I'm in Rochester in May. Where am I going to go? The Lilac Festival. What else? Who else has a favorite spot that I should know?
Would you just have like maybe added like the days that it's running or something?
Oh yeah, that would have been good. Yeah, May what?
One end is always Mother's Day.
Give him a hot dog.
All right, but now that becomes your mission as an agent, because you want to get that message out to your sphere of influence. Remember, this is all about your spheres of influence. You're tapping into a greater sphere, but now they gotta know you, and they're gonna say, well, I know she wasn't talking to me, but she was talking to someone else to get business. You're gonna hear negative and positive, right? But the positive in that is that you did it. And I wanna see how many views you get. That's what I'm most interested in, because now the smile, right? She had a smile from cheek to cheek. She was consistent, and it was not scripted, right? Who else has a favorite spot? Sure, no one's gonna raise their hand because they're afraid they're gonna come up here. How about you, young lady?
No.
Come
I
on.
don't have a favorite spot. I love it all.
The public market.
What is your best?
Bernard's Grove.
Burgers Grove?
Bernard's Grove.
Bernard's Grove.
Is that your favorite spot? Where's your favorite spot?
Florida.
Yeah, put that one up right away. I want your client list.
Tony, you had your hand up?
In the summertime, I just love the canal and the waterways and all the restaurants. You know,
Okay.
there's just so much
Which
to
one?
do.
Fairport.
Yeah, sure.
What was the one we went to, the brewery? Right?
Genesee Brewery.
Oh, Genesee Brewery.
I love
Yeah.
that place.
Oh,
yeah.
The waterfall there.
Yeah.
He took me for lunch there, and I was like, "It's great." I ended up paying for lunch, by the way.
You gotta pay for the view in the company.
But it was a great spot to do a video.
Yeah.
What a great spot there. Who goes there a lot? Do a video
We
from
go
there.
downtown.
You go there a lot?
Well, I go downtown, yeah.
Okay.
There's just so many spots. There's
Is that a good spot to do, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
it's
that
like-
I like is Tony D's, because it's got our bridge behind it. you know, the famous Rochester.
Yes.
Is that the
And,
one I saw from the airplane, I think, coming in?
You probably have.
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I saw that, yeah.
It's a
that's-
landmark.
There's so
Pretty
many
cool
spots,
spot.
like hedges out and, at the end of
And
Lake
why
Avenue.
should I go to Tony D's?
Well, first of all, they have
Wait, that's
delicious,
pizza, right?
well, they have delicious food. Their chicken wings are the best.
It's Italian restaurant, Tony D's. It's in the airport, I saw it advertised, no?
Oh,
Probably.
it might be advertised,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, it's down in Cornhill. It's down in Cornhill. They have delicious food. They're right on the river. You can sit outside at the river.
All right, has anyone ever interviewed the owner of Tony D's?
Well, the old one just passed away.
So Tony,
But there's new ones
since
now.
you're Tony,
Yeah, well, yeah, the
No
other,
longer there.
how
The original one
about
is
the
still
new
there.
owner?
yeah. I have friends that know him well. I know him, but, so, yeah, I can do that.
What about you?
Yeah, I'll do it. Just do
Wouldn't it be great?
Yeah.
And I know we're friends on Facebook, so
Yeah.
tag me.
I'll do it.
I want to see what the reaction is to people, from people to you,
Mhm.
because now you're doing something different.
Yeah.
You know, like back when I was a real estate agent, you know, in the beginning, right, 29 years ago, we had some tips, you know, how to be a great realtor in your spheres of influence. And if you went into a restaurant and you left a tip, and you leave your business card on the back of the business card, you say thank you for an enjoyable meal, right?
Always.
So now I try to take a picture of me and the waitress who served me. So I've been trying to get a video with me and the waitress or the waiter that serves me, so I can video the entire luncheonette with them. Rather than the owner, give credence to the person that is serving me, and then come on down if you want great service, you go to blah, 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 so, right? When I was doing the business card thing, I would get at least one rental a month. One.
I've done that for 36
One
years.
rental a month. Wherever I would eat, I would get that person to get a rental. And I have converted only one of those waitress, waiter tips, I call them, into a sale. Because now they went from rental to affordability of buying a home. Who else has a favorite spot? You have no favorite spot.
Well, there's all the museums. I mean, you know, for the children and all, they're fabulous.
Okay?
Festival ever.
What am I supposed to know about the museum? I'm here in town visiting. Tell me a little bit
The
about it.
Children's Museum is one of the best in the world.
Okay.
Butterfly.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Have you ever done a video from there?
No, I never thought.
Why should I do one
But
there?
when my granddaughter's here this summer, we're doing one.
There you go.
Butterfly Museum.
And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be more than a minute or 2 minutes. Just show me the highlight of why I should be there. And you'll see that in your spheres of influence, as you're doing it on Facebook or on Instagram or any other medium that you do, people will flock to you.
So the truth of it is, I have done a video there, but I never thought of posting.
You didn't post it,
Never thought of it.
never. Well, now you have a reason to. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna help your business. I wouldn't stay up here and, stand up here and say, you know what, Facebook did nothing for my business. I wouldn't teach a class. If I wanted to teach this class at Technopalooza and today because I'm trying to inspire others to do what I've done to make them more money. Made first
Just-
impression, then second.
Just from like the beginning, so how do you do it even? Like, is that
Take your cell phone out,
Then you just
Is
go
there a
go to Facebook, and there's a live button
Oh,
feature
there's
there.
live, I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
And then it actually, like a camera, goes 3, 2, 1,
Oh, okay.
and boom, you're on live.
I just never thought of it,
Now,
so I never even.
You
And then
want to
when
get
you're done-
sophisticated with a selfie stick. You want to do it that way. I mean, I do most of them holding like this. Sorry, holding. Second question, then third.
You
Guys?
don't have to press post, it's posting.
Oh, and then you press post and it's posted. But while you're doing it, people can see you live. Anyone that you tagged or anyone who's in your sphere. You have a question?
I do so
Louder, louder. so they
say
can-
it's a real disaster.
Say it's a real disaster. You
And
can
you want
delete it.
to go away.
You can delete it.
Have some, did it get out there in the universe while it was happening?
Yes.
And then you can pull it back?
Yes. You can delete, but again, don't worry about that aspect. Because all these other videos that I've done, right, they're not perfect. You wanna see another one? I'll show you another one.
And so the question I.
Oh, second question, I'm sorry, you had another question.
You said you have your private, page, but then do you share it to your business page?
I can if I want to.
He's making it public though.
No, I can if I want, but it's public.
Cause your own personal page is
Yeah,
public.
like well, I have settings on that page too. I can make it just for friends only. You know, I can say friends except so-and-so. I don't want this person to see it. I can do like one of my colleagues in the business. I don't want them to see my videos. I can, you know.
So you set that up
Take-
before you do it?
Yeah, I can do that.
Before you go
Sure,
live, you
sure.
set up who the audience is?
Sure.
Just like if you were gonna send it from your regular Facebook?
Absolutely. J-Man?
I was gonna say, you can set the audience to be just yourself. So if you wanted to practice,
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
you just do the only person that can see it is myself, so you can get all the quirks out of the way, how you're gonna say it, how to operate it, all the masks, all the filters, that kind of stuff that's involved.
Yeah, but
So
have
that nobody else
fun
can
with
see
it
it.
though. Have
Well,
fun, just do it.
Yeah, but so for some people, it's good to like practice it that way, and then so then that way when you're ready to go public, you hit go public and then just do it.
But is anybody really watching it like the second it's happening?
Oh
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh yeah.
There are
Absolutely.
losers out there who have nothing to do but watch Facebook videos.
And
Yeah.
early in the morning, between
Not
six
those, I don't wanna
and
say.
3 o'clock.
No.
like,
There
how
are
do they know
people.
it's coming? Do you,
But there's notifications on,
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
your
you're
Facebook.
live.
And they can text you in real time.
Yeah. I can turn on notifications if J-Min does a video and it says J-Min is going live right now at this, as we speak, and I'll get the notification from him. Yeah. So, yes, Tony?
I asked a friend to go with me for the first time to video clients that just bought a house. And when it came time to go, she said, well, why don't you call so-and-so? They have a camera, it'll be really good, it'll be professional, and don't use your phone. So guess what? For all these months, I've never done it because the only thing I have is my phone. I don't have a camera.
Phone is fine.
Phone is fine.
Phone is
does
fantastic,
an
Tony.
awesome job.
It's awesome.
The phone is fine.
It really is.
And you know what? One of my favorite expressions in class is that anything I do, my favorite four-letter word is free.
Mhm.
So anything free is for me, right? So this is a medium that people, you know, our colleagues in the business are not taking advantage of this enough. And think about the upper hand you have now. Think about the upper hand that you have that you're not using to demonstrate your business a little bit more to the community. Yeah.
Just a quick question. You had asked earlier, how do you know what is organic viewers?
If
Well,
you didn't pay to
what
promote
does
it.
that mean?
If you didn't pay to promote it.
Yeah. If I
Oh,
paid,
is that what that
Yeah,
means?
that's
if I
different,
paid to boost
Paid
the
versus
ad,
unpaid.
you know, I'll pay to boost an ad for my real estate business, but now I want to pay to boost an ad for video if I have something to say.
Right.
You know, I
So if
did-
you don't pay for it, it's
That's the organic.
That's what they
It's
mean
the
when they say
organic
it's
growth of
happening
it.
naturally.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
On
yes.
my South Shore living page, what I did was with the dry cleaner, I paid like $5 to boost the ad.
Okay.
And I got 200 extra views. You know, went out there to people that I didn't even know. And I hit a radius of people, and I can hit an age group of people. You know, that's something, again, of a, you know, expert level. First start here, and then graduate there. That's how I feel, because, again, a lot of people won't do it because they're afraid. And I'm telling you that you should do it to overcome that fear, because if you don't, someone else is in your business doing it. This was like a silly video, and this was after voting. So I say politics and religious views, no, don't put them up there. But this was just a silly video of myself and my coworker.
And Mary Valenti and I have just voted in the
We vote on the beach, by the
election
way.
process, and we voted for our local leaders as well as our national leaders. And we just wanted to say, get out there and
637.
vote, right, Mary?
Yes, and Joe, why don't you give me your opinion on the election today, actually?
Now that
My
was
opinion on the
scripted.
election is that you have to vote for leadership that counts in not just your local election, not just your state election, but on a national level. And on a local level, we support our senators and our assemblymen and our court officers, our judges, and our candidates for presidency. So we're not here to give anybody a steering toward one particular candidate, but we just wanted to endorse our local level people and our
And I didn't even know what I was saying.
and our country.
But 637 people saw it. That's all I cared about. All right, so they saw me and I'm like, all right, you don't know what you're talking about, but they knew it was election day.
This is Joe Sedona and
Mary Valenti, have a great day.
over and out.
All right, and then we have another one with her. This is impromptu, and that's best in a business. And we were just being silly one day, and this was in our restaurant that we put in town, Dunkin' Donuts. This is the first time I ever did it.
Hey everybody, this is Joe Sedona coming to you live from Dunkin' Donuts with
Mary Valenti!
and we're just trying
Now
to make
she
everybody
loves video.
smile here at the counters in the back here. Hey guys, smile! Smile!
And the lady goes, "Oh, what is it there?"
We got one back there. She's smiling. All right.
This is the best Dunkin' Donuts in town. Come visit us. We're gonna be here probably most of the day.
And that was just a Friday afternoon, just doing nothing. It was downtime. And I have to tell you, I got in so much trouble with my wife for that video. It's like, oh, I see what you do during the day. And I'm like, oh, brother, you know? But I have to tell you, it's fun. You show that person, the person that's watching, you show them a human side of you, and you say, and then they see you, and then they want to buy from you. You know, no one wants to buy from someone who's stiff all the time. You know, I was talking to Jamin this morning about, you know, his videos and how he's using all sorts of artwork with the bow tie and the glasses. And I said, you know, do people criticize you for that? No, but if you're showing a fun side of you, who wants to buy from a stiff?
At first I thought it was really your glasses.
So did I.
The first couple times people were like, when did you get glasses? I'm like, it's a filter, man. I didn't get glasses.
So this was a school fundraiser, so if you're doing something in your schools and you want to do a video, especially, you know, you got to be careful though, because there's a lot of disclaimers, especially with children in the video. So I did get permission for this. This was a paint night, and I have to tell you, the first video, I took that one down, it was like 700 views, and this was part 2 to the business, and the parents were all about it when they had the camera on them. First people.
Hey, this is Joe Sedona coming to you live from Earth Hearts on Park Avenue in Long Beach, and the Joe Sedona team is doing a paint night for its distinguished clientele and friends of our clients and friends here in Long Beach, and we are going live here, and we have some canvases that are about to be painted, and these are all our friends here. Everybody wave over here.
So, and we're just, now when I did this is when they decided to do the fundraiser for the PTA. When they saw my business side, and then they said, you know what, let's do one here at Earth Arts. And they raised $3,000. They did 2 of them. So you see, you can help your community that way by branding a business like something like this, where you can have a little get-together and advertise the business, and the business would probably co-sponsor it with you. Because that's what Earth Arts did. And when I did my wine and cheese party here with my clients, and I invited a couple of my clients there as well, they took the proceeds and they donated it to the soup kitchen. So it served as a double, you know, duty for me to do something back, give something back to the community. Get involved. Get involved in your community. Yes.
Esther, you know what I'm just thinking about? I have a friend that has cancer and she's doing a fundraiser on the 15th in Buffalo, which I'm from Buffalo. She's from Rochester. Would I do something like this, like the day of it or
The day of.
during it? You're saying.
During,
Right,
beginning.
so I'm thinking like to get people to go to the
Oh,
fundraiser.
you want to do a video, and you're
Pre-event.
going to do a promo video and say, we're going to go live that day, and you build up hype for the fundraiser. You want to focus on the flyer or the poster and say, we're going to go live here. We're going to show you what folks are doing, and we want you to come on down to this fundraiser. We want you to get excited. We want you to be involved, and then do another video at the fundraiser. Why not? Why not? You know, if it's something that's meaningful to you, you know, talk with your, you know, from the heart. I find that talking from, I didn't mean to really get you all emotional, but if you talk from the heart and speak from the heart, I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot of attention from it. You will get a lot of attention from it. I can relate. You know, I had a friend of mine pass away from breast cancer, and if this meeting was there, we do an annual walk in Long Beach for breast cancer, and we have a boardwalk of 2.2 miles. I'm going live this year in May. I'm going to do the Arts and Crafts Festival. Anything that is in my town, you know, as far as events, I'm going to do a live video from wherever that event is posted. Because I want you, let's say, as a visitor, to come to my town and see what my town is all about. It's not just about the beach. I have a lot of events. This one right here. Look, 1,700 shares. I'm sorry, 1,700 views, 13 shares. And I'm a sponsor of this parade every year. Nona coming to you live from Beach Street, and we are putting out the Wounded Warriors Parade, and over there is Senator Tom Kavinsky and his board. And these are our Wounded Warriors. I'm going to turn the action this way. Go to the trucks. That's the owner of the Dunkin' Donuts owns that truck. And he keeps it in the back of the Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know, he's like going to war in 5 minutes or something. I don't know. He's not a veteran either. He just loves parading that along the route. That's the main road with all the stores, right? And again, this goes on every year, right? Now, I rebroadcasted this one. It started out with 1,000 views and about 700
this is
more.
the Wounded Warriors Parade coming down
Because I
Beach
didn't do
Street,
one last
Long
year.
Beach, New York.
This was the year before.
An annual tradition of commemorating the Wounded Warriors Project.
So we host the Wounded Warriors in our town. We house them for a week.
in people's
And we
houses.
stay
And we graciously
we have parades and we
house
have
them
food,
here
tents,
and show them what
it's
Long
great.
Beach is about.
And we host them every year. It's really great. So I want people to know a little
Hi,
bit about my
Irene.
community.
Yes, I just left your house and now I'm here on Beach Street. Hey, John.
There he is.
Hey, Louisa.
So these are my clients marching in the parade. Now they see it on Facebook. They see me there.
Our Long Beach
You know,
Waterfront heroes.
You gotta be there, by the way. You have to be at an event.
Some of our military veterans marching in our parade here.
Now, I do want to bring attention to how you speak, because I've been more conscious in my videos of the word here. If you notice in some of these videos, I say the word here a lot, because someone brought it to my attention. So I've been trying to not say the word here a lot, because people will start noticing your diction, you know, your tone, your repetition of certain words, you know. So that's kind of made me a little bit conscious of the word here. Oh, we're here at this place, and we're here, and I keep saying it, and I've tried to eliminate as much here as possible. So that's another tip, if you will. And look at this one, 13 shares, 1.7K views. The last one I'm gonna leave you with, I think we're gonna wrap it up, right, 2 o'clock? Oh, 2:30? Oh, no, okay. That would be-
Good time for hands-on.
I don't wanna run out of time. But I want you to. Election time farmers. This is the farmers market. Now, this one, somebody tell me I was on something, like I was on speed or something. Now, this was this is when I tried to do community video. I just come out of a meeting at City Hall.
The farm is available. Hi, this is Joe Sonota coming to you live from the Long Beach Farmers Market, and I'm just walking here in beautiful City Hall Plaza. Here's City Hall in the background.
I don't have any
And
microphones.
this is
I don't have
our
anything to
farmers
get rid of the
market.
wind.
And
You know,
all the
sound.
people here today, and they're shopping around in our farmers market here. It's usually
Here,
normally
farmers
very
market
big
twice,
here
get it?
at the farmers market. And they have a lot of good products, a lot of good stuff here. I invite everybody to come down and explore the farmers market on such a beautiful day here at City Hall Plaza. Beautiful fountains in the background. God, Long Beach is great. It's a great day in Long Beach. Come down here. These farmers come out here from all over New York State, and they bring their product here every Wednesday and Saturday. So it should be bigger here on Saturday in light of Irish Day that's coming as well. And here in the plaza as well, the following weekend will be the Fall Festival.
Now,
So
J-Man
there's a lot going on here in
as I
Long
was
Beach.
doing this.
Come on down and just explore
and I started to
Long Beach.
watch
It's a great day in
the
Long Beach,
feed.
and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Wait.
Oh, wait a minute.
See?
Interview the people to see what they have to offer.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
man,
you
that's a
could
great
write
idea.
somebody
Let's go
notes.
here
Producer.
to this
So,
gentleman here.
he
This
started
is
to
Papa
tell me,
Pasquale,
go ahead,
ravioli
interview
and
people.
pasta. Hey, Papa Pasquale, what are you selling today? What are you selling
He
today?
looked at me like I had 4 heads.
Ravioli, all this ravioli in here? Is this asparagus with smoked mozzarella, pesto ravioli, Spanish ravioli? This is Papa Pasquale's
wanna be on this
ravioli
one.
stand.
Yeah, he wouldn't get on
crab
camera.
cakes.
Yeah.
What else do we have
He's
here?
grumpy, always
Fried
grumpy,
Sicilian
Pasquale.
artichoke. This is awesome stuff. You guys have to come down here.
I watch.
This
Now
is
I go
Papa
all, now
Pasquale's tent
I
here at
increase the
farmer's
speed now.
market.
Coming up.
And what do we got over here? What do we got over here? Hot World. Oh, look at this. Pretzels, all sorts of nuts and pretzels. Oh, wow, this is great. And what do we have over here? Seafood. Here's the seafood guy over here. Right? And we have, where's the seafood guy? He's right here. Look at all his fresh seafood. Wow, look at all this. And then you got the vegetable lady here. This is great.
This is the funniest.
And this is all fresh, guys. This is the true, organic, freshest vegetables you're gonna find here. Hi, ladies. How are you? How are you doing?
Watch this.
You're seniors in Long Beach. Do you like the farmers market? Oh, you're from Ocean. You came all the way from Oceanside. That's 2 towns over, guys. Nice, very nice. What? No politics, it's just Facebook Live.
Hey,
Oh, we got over here, Foreman's Pickle. Right here.
She thought I was a
Foreman's
politician.
Let's pickle over here. Foreman's, how you doing, Foreman? What's going on here? You have olives?
Pickles, sauerkraut, string beans,
Nice.
all kinds of good stuff.
Very nice. Very nice, thank you. And then we got over here, what do we have here? Olive oil. Look at this guy right here. There's a lot of olive oil. How are you? How you doing today? So, there you have it. Come out to the farmer's market.
But you see with the guy with the pickles, he wanted to be interviewed. He wanted, now, that was my opportunity. And I blew it. I know I blew it. But I don't care, you know. I have another opportunity, Wednesdays and Saturdays. This summer, I'm gonna be there again. And this time, when I'm there, I'm gonna get Papa Pasquale to crack a smile. And you're gonna see me do this. And then I'm gonna go over to the pickle garden and go like this. I'm gonna grab one. I think he lets me grab one. And I'm going, this is good, this is good. And I'm just gonna go to town with myself at the farmer's market. Because I want people to know that this exists in my town. So, I want to leave you with another video, and this was a video entirely that this was the last show of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. So my family and I went to the circus. I've never been to the circus, ever. As a kid, never. I was very deprived as a child. I have issues. Anyway, so the spur of the moment family trip, where I actually hold the phone up to the Ringling Brothers, spurs about 3.8 thousand. This is the highest one I've ever had. And all it is the circus. And it's out of town. But what it did for some people was give them the last show on earth. And I gotta tell you, I was very disappointed there were no elephants. There weren't that many animals in this circus. So I've never been to it, and all I did was hold the camera, this is where we were sitting, and then I zoomed in, and this got over 3,000 views.
It's very nostalgic.
And people were just like, and by the way, I didn't tag anybody in this at all. And I got 3,000 views. But there were people making comments about how, I mean, there were activists here. You can see some of the comments, very sad. Oh, the elephants are not there. One lady's fighting with another person. Oh, the animal abuse. Oh, it was just a whole bunch of stuff that I sparked. There was another video that I did with my street. I live on a very busy street where those offices, where my office is and the house. And I did a video on the lane closure and how they're going to shorten this beach street into one lane west, one lane east. And I was very emphatic about the lane closure. And I got over 1,000 views, and people were ripping me apart. And you know, this was where you have a view about and something in your community, and this one lady was ripping me apart, and I took it down. And Jeremiah's told me to keep it up there because it was bringing me a lot of attention, but I thought it was bringing me a lot of negative attention. I said I didn't want it to affect my business. So I leave you with this. Be careful what you put up. Put up some happy things. I mean, this again, 3,000 views. This was something I thought was happy. This was a family trip. You know, I could go on and on with my videos, but I'm not because I see some people have left already. But I want you to know that when you do these, select the topic in your mind. Don't script it out. Be careful of what you post. No religion or political views. Religious or political. Fundraisers, community things that brand you to the community. People that will take you and say, you know what, I saw your video. I appreciate, and then you engage with them in another conversation, if you will. If you want to engage with them as far as real estate's concerned, or do you want to engage with them as, yeah, I like that video. What'd you think of that video I took yesterday? Isn't that cute? And you talk about that. And you'll never know where your business is going to come from. The amount of business that has come my way has been really good for my business and has increased the flow. And it's not because I'm doing something real estate related, it's because I'm doing something community related. You have a medium here to put the greatest show on earth. And you know what the greatest show on earth is? You. So I leave you with that, and I want to thank you again for giving me the opportunity to present.